took me almost 50 hours to turn this idea I had into a full painting. Throughout the process, I learned a few things and I also regret doing some things a certain way. So let's just take a look at how it went and the lessons and the regrets that I had. First of all, references. It is really easy to just go to Pinterest or Google and just search for the references that we want. But a lot of times, we don't find the best reference that we're looking for. We don't find the exact angle of the thing that we want. But why really stop there? I have the game available to me, so I can just literally go get any references that I need from the game. So the biggest thing that I learned is that a lot of times we limit ourselves to what is normal or conventional. But we need to use all the tools that we have. As you can see, I just went to the location and really went to different things and got different angles and just took screenshots. Another simple examples of references, be creative with references, to use 3D tools to make like poses, for example, or simple perspective references. So now that we have our references, I decided that this would be a great opportunity to also practice 3-point perspective. So I started by figuring out where my vanishing points would be and started creating the vanishing lines. The easy thing to do here is to find a brush for this. And I have a brush from Mark Brunet that really does this very easily. You just select your vanishing point and it just creates a bunch of reference lines that goes from the vanishing point. But one of the things here that may be a regret or a mistake here, although it was good practice to do 3-point perspective, it was one of the reasons this painting took so long, and maybe the third perspective wasn't the best. It didn't really add any dynamism or make the painting any more dynamic because the angles were just slight. That third vanishing point was so far that it didn't add too much into the perspective. And it really just made my vertical lines more difficult to draw because each line just had that one slight angle. So although it was good practice, I don't know if it added much to the painting. So as you can see, I really took my time with the drawing. I really followed the structure of the 3-point perspective, and I really wanted to add as much detail as possible at the beginning to make sure the painting stage goes better. One of the reasons is that this kind of painting is not something that I usually do, so I really wanted to make sure I don't struggle later on because environment paintings is not my strength. I usually do character paintings or portraits. So adding details here for me was very important. Once I had the drawing done, I just started adding some basic colors. This is just rough colors. I really didn't care too much about the lines and where, certain colors start or end. This just gives me a rough idea of what the painting will look like. The main point here was to just, put the colors in, and I wanted to try and balance the cool and the warm colors. The scene is at night with lots of blue skies, blue waters, but then the center of the town is giving out bright, warm, yellow-orange light. And I really play with this concept throughout the entire painting until I get it right at the end. I kept pushing on the colors to get that contrast right. Now at this point is where I wanted to start adding, the rendering and adding details into the colors. And this is where I made my biggest 2 mistakes. Mistake number 1 was not to work big to small as an overall strategy. What I would do instead was to pick a building or part of a building and try to add as much detail as I can to it to get it done before moving on to the next building or next portion. Now you may ask, why wasn't this good? Because this could work. Well, it resulted in taking more time because I would always go back to previous parts and adjust things and redo some of the details. And some details that I would add or draw would even be covered by other parts later on, and really I was wasting time doing them. So for next time, I would really try to take that overall strategy of working at big things or big objects first and slowly start moving in and zooming in more to add more and more details. The other big mistake was also as a result of the strategy that I was taking, it ended up that I had way too many layers. I don't even know how many layers I ended up with, but it was just way too many. I could have simply had, the same colors to be on the same layer. For example, I could have had just all the red to be on the same layer, maybe the background on one layer, and maybe the roofs on one layer. But instead, for every building, I would have a bunch of layers. And this made it really complicated because every time I wanted to adjust the color, I would have to go back to all the layers with that same color to adjust them all. And this would take time. At this point, there was really no point for layers anymore because there were just way too many to even manage. So the important lesson here is layer management and to be intentional with making any new layer. One of the most important lessons that I learned in this painting was simplicity in complex paintings. Not everything needs to be super detailed. For example, if we zoom in into the people around or the characters that I have, even though the characters may be, distinguishable from far, you can see that there aren't that many details when we zoom in. And this was intentional. In a large painting like this, these little things won't really be seen. The details won't be seen. So it's best to just simplify them and to imply what they are instead of spending hours working zoomed in at a level that no one can see. So the best approach was to work zoomed out on these things as much as possible. Zoom in a little bit, but work zoomed out because we know the details won't really be shown. This painting was lots of fun for me to do, and of course it took a lot of time, but I learned a lot from it. This was a new thing for me to do environment painting. And the best thing for me was to try and balance that cool and warm tones and warm colors. And I think the result ended up being pretty good, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Now I want to hear from you. What is the longest painting you've ever worked on, and how long did that take you?